Hi, I'm Jacob and this is the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors. A while ago, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, I found myself on YouTube looking up how to make a feather stick. I wanted to understand how people made such beautiful, awesome feather sticks, and I saw a lot of recommendations made about knives and edges, so I wanted to do a video for you talking about what I look for in a bushcraft knife, and specifically one that will excel at making feather sticks. So stick around and let's talk about it. When you're looking for a knife to make feather sticks, people will all push you in one direction or another. You know, a lot of people will say you have to have a Scandi, which the Mora is, and they are good for feather sticks. Many people will say a nice high Sieber grind is the best for making feather sticks. It can be. And then you have people, I fall more into this category, who prefer a full flat grind, which I think is very versatile and excellent for these little bushcraft tasks. But what I'm going to talk to you about today is edge thickness. In fact, all of these knives that I just showed you have one thing in common, and that is edge thickness. How thick or thin the edge of the knife is behind where it's sharpened. That is incredibly important. But to demonstrate this, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little feather stick with this 100-year-old broadaxe, which is almost an inch thick behind the edge. Now, the reason that I'm demonstrating this is because the type of tool that you use is not actually that important, or the specific type of grind. I'm doing this left-handed, by the way, and my left hand is about retarded. What's more important than the actual grind is the thickness behind the edge and the handle geometry. Feather sticking sucks with an uncomfortable knife, and I'm not going to tell you what is or is not comfortable because everybody's different, and I've found that knives that I find to be entirely uncomfortable, a lot of people are quite fond of. Now, this broadaxe feather stick here is certainly not ideal, and this feather stick is looking like crap. In fact, I don't even know if I'll use this clip. Let's see how small of feathers I can get, though. Let's see if I can save this. Oh yeah, look at that. One thing you want to do with your feathers is you want nice, long feathers. You don't want little short feathers, and I'll show you what I mean here in just a moment. Oh yeah, this is way better. Now I can really go as thick or as thin as I want here with this broadaxe. If I reduce my angle, I can get smaller curls here, just like that. Look at that. Nice. Now, what I mean about wanting longer and thinner feathers is a lot of times when people just start out, they will do a feather stick that looks something like this. All right. Something like this. They apply too much pressure, they go too deep, and they go for a very short period here. You want to avoid that. Now, most people start this way. It's okay to do a feather stick like this, but it is not your end goal. What you want to do is, as long as possible, typically you want to do very fine little curls, and you want to bring them as far as you can. And again, the type of grind that you have on your knife is less important with this than A, the type or hardness of the wood that you're using, B, the thickness of the edge, and C, the comfort of the handle. As I get going with my feather stick, I like to start making some slightly larger curls, and then of course I'll go back and make smaller curls as well. But once a small curl catches a spark and makes an ember, then it can burn quickly and it can catch one of these longer curls, which will last obviously longer, burn hotter, and will be good for the fire. Now, this little SE is great for this, full flat grind, everything else. As you've seen with the broad axe though, it's not all that important. So check out this monster. I can get right up on the edge, handle's very comfortable for me. We've got a high saber grind, and this is that thin edge that I was talking about. And this allows me to get up close and to do nice, well, that's not nice and small. It's a bad piece of wood here. There we go. Nice, small little curls. Look at that, nice and long and small. I mentioned that one of the most important aspects of making a feather stick is your selection of wood. So let's look up close at how to find out whether or not wood is in fact good for a feather stick or not. When you pick up a piece of wood to make a feather stick, first off, I want to render it down to be very small. What I'm looking for is two things. First, how dry and soft the wood is. When I take my fingernail to feel the hardness, I should be able to leave a dent, but the wood should not be rotten so that I put my thumb or fingernail straight through it. So I want it to be a little bit soft. And the other thing is, I want straight grain. This is certainly less than ideal. Once I have those things, I'm going to take whatever stick that I'm using, once I've decided that it's good enough, and I'm going to split it down and render it down until it's very small, like this. And what I want is as many square edges as I can have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start on a straight edge where I have a nice edge, and I'm going to begin feathering. As I go, I'm going to make ridges, and those ridges are perfect for the next feather. So I just keep rotating back and forth, making new little edges on the stick, then shaving them right off. I really should have spent some more time finding what might be the ideal wood for this video, but this is what I got handy. But you'll see what I'm doing here. As I'm making these curls, I'm rotating. And every time I make a cut with this knife, it leaves a high point. You can see right here, this little edge. I made my last feather here. The feather before that was here. And that makes this edge. And this feather will go right along that edge. My next feather will be along the next edge, and so on and so forth. So at the end of the day, when you are looking for what tool you're going to purchase for bushcraft and for feather sticking and everything else, do your research, but maybe don't worry so much about what's faddish. I personally usually don't choose Scandi grinds because while I think that they're great for bushcraft, there's no doubt about it, I don't feel that they're as versatile as a full flat grind when it comes to batoning, food processing, and everything else. I also like high Sieber grinds very much because they are also very versatile. But at the end of the day, the most important and crucial things are how you pick your wood, how thin the edge of the knife is, and how comfortable the handle is. All of these things are very subjective. Obviously also, is the knife sharp? A lot of people get very frustrated because they work with a subpar quality knife, and a lot of people simply don't know what a sharp knife is. You can do some little tests like shaving hair off your arm or cutting paper or other things to see, but if you've never seen a sharp knife, you'll never be able to tell if a knife is sharp or not. What I'm saying is, you can get outside of what's normally recommended and still do well. For instance, not many people out there are going to go off right off the bat for feather sticks and bushcraft and recommend a super kook or any other kukri. And yet kukris have been phenomenal in bushcraft and are becoming wildly popular because they work so well, even though they require a little bit different style of use. Scandis will always be popular. You will not go wrong with a little Mora, especially for 15 to 20 bucks. But there are other options as well, like the Hogue. The Hogue FO2 is an incredible knife in stainless steel with an awesome sheath, and nobody in the bushcraft community is looking at it, and I'm not sure why. If you can do your research and stay away from the fads, you can really get yourself a high quality blade. You can learn how to make phenomenal feather sticks, and you can not be bogged down by trends. You can keep your mind open, you can try more things, and really you can potentially not only enjoy more of this community, the bushcraft community, and learn how to do more things and become a more versatile and skilled bushcrafter or survivalist. If you enjoyed this video, please click subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. What I'm going to do is continue using this broad axe to make feather sticks because it's kind of fun, to be honest, and keep practicing left-handed because my left hand is retarded. Have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you. Thank you very much.